Here are two Himalayan Breeze frog fins. The one on the left I got a long time ago, and the one on the right I just found recently. These are both kind of ridiculous fins, but at the same time I think they're absolutely hilarious. The Himalayan Breeze, whatever that is. I think that's mountains or something. I don't know. On this one, the information says MEDIUM FROG-HBM-7009. Oh, made in China. Great. And then the informations is Himalayan decorative fin HBM-7009 frog medium. 25 watts, and the date is January 2012. And this one I remember purchasing new. My mother got that for me at the pharmacy store or whatever it was. This one, it looks like it's pretty much the same thing. Let's take a peep at the informations tag first. The informations is MEDIUM FROG-HBM-7009, made in China. Oh, great. And the informations is Himalayan decorative fin HBM-7009 frog. And this is October of 2012. So it's a little bit newer, just by a couple of months. This one is January 2012. They look pretty much identical on the back. They're both 2 speeds, and the motor is WBM, whatever that is. They're a slightly different color. This one's lighter. I'm not really sure why. I think the only difference that I can really see is the blades. This one has a 4-blade prop. It's metal. And this one is like a Vornado knockoff kind of blade. 3-wing plastic. Is the power draw the same? Yeah, it is the same, so it'll be interesting to see if there really is any difference in power draw. I would suspect it's probably the same motor, so it's kind of odd that they use 2 different blades, unless when that was made metal was cheaper and when that was made plastic was cheaper. It's the only thing I can think of. Alright, so I got the kilowatt meter set up here. The meters are respective to the fan locations. We're testing at 120.3 volts, 0.4 volts. And we'll start these things off on low. Or we'll do one at a time first. So this is the plastic one. It's drawing 32.2 watts, so it's already over what it was supposed to. A fair bit over too. When you're talking 25, 32 is a good percentage over. It's very loud. It sounds very restricted. It's pretty powerful right up front, but then when the airflow is almost gone, 2 or 3 feet away. 0.35 amps, 32 watts on the nose, and a power factor of 0.74. It's just a typical cheap C-frame shaded pole motor. Somewhat out of balance. Not too bad though. There's the high, which is 39.8 watts, which is considerably over 25, which is what it claims to draw. You can see the aerodynamics on this thing are just terrible. The air is not coming out clean. It's like all screwed up. It's pretty strong, you know, right where it comes out, but then, and even just here, it's barely moving. It drops so fast. And the balance isn't too bad, but it's definitely not perfect. So that's 0.44 amps, 39.6 watts, and a power factor of 0.73. I haven't serviced this or run it in a while, but I recall the spin down was always pretty decent. Looks like it still is. Let's take a quick closer look at the blades. Alright, now let's test the metal blade one. It's much quieter. And it's only drawing 16 watts. It is moving less air. And this kind of has the same problem. It's pretty strong right up front, but it doesn't carry at all. And within 2 or 3 feet from the fan, you're getting hardly a draft. You know, pretty good right up there, but then back away and you get hardly anything at all. And it too sounds very restricted, and it has generally the same issue where it's kind of getting sucked back in the sides. So the aerodynamics is just terrible on these things. If they had used this kind of mesh material around the whole thing, it probably would have been fine. But there's just too much restriction on the outside there and on the back and whatnot. So this is 0.22 amps, 16 the watts, and a power factor of 0.61. And the blade is in perfect balance. Or maybe not perfect, but really good. All right, let's go to the high. That was a big change in speed. That's up to 20 watts, so it's still within the acceptable range. 0.28 amps, 20 watts, and a power factor of 0.60. And this is moving some pretty good air now. It's quite strong right up front. The aerodynamics don't seem quite as bad on this one, but it still doesn't really carry far away from the fan much at all. And there's no comparison. Air is whipping out right up front, but then even just a foot back, it's almost halfway gone already. Now this one I've never cleaned or serviced, so I don't know how the spin down is going to be. Probably not very long. Well, it seems like it's running fine. Bearings are a little dry, but not too bad. Alright, it's now running both at the same time. We'll start on low. The sound of this one is overwhelming. And actually the airflow, yeah, this metal one is a little bit weaker, but neither of them travel any considerable distance. Oddly enough, on high, I'm hearing the metal one a lot more. And the airflow from the plastic one is definitely superior, but they're both kind of useless as fans. The air doesn't travel anywhere. You'd have to be sitting 10 inches away from it for it to be worth anything.